Hello and welcome to the Foresight Scrolls Channel. Here we examine charts and trade setups based on the Foresight Suite for Tradingview Indicators. We take a look at indices, stocks, cryptos, and commodities. If you want me to take a look at something specific, just drop it in the chat. This information is for educational purposes only. If you're interested in seeing what the Foresight Suite for Tradingview Indicators is all about and want to think about getting it for yourself, you can go to ForesightScrolls.com. All right, so each day I think we'll look at the S&P 500 just so we're sort of getting a larger look at the stock market. So the SPY is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. We can see here, based on our flow of time indicator and our Foresight indicator, that we've just been in this long uptrend and gotten really good support off this uptrend. We've recently printed a couple of bearish signals here, but again, it's been in this uptrend for a very long time. It's very unusual. So right now we're just sort of waiting, keeping our eyes on when this might turn over and to get an oblivion signal like we did here. That's about all on that, but it would be an interesting look to see what this looks like on the weekly. And again, these are Heikin candles, so candles that are based on average price during the candle. That they look different than normal candles, but it really cleans things up, which is a part of what we like to do here at Foresight. There's something really unusual going on here. You can see we haven't had one single bear week in this entire run. So we've gone almost 40% vertical, which is nearly unheard of, maybe unheard of when looking at the S&P 500. You can go back in time and see there's always weeks where it just chops through. This, on the other hand, it's parabolic. It's just shooting straight up, which is normally a very bad sign, because what goes up must come down, and if it goes up that fast, normally we're taking the steps up and that elevator or the escalator down, or being pushed out of a window perhaps. So we're just going to keep an eye on that, just as we progress forward over the next several days here. If you haven't seen the live stream before, or if you're unfamiliar with the indicators, there's a tutorial and demonstration video on our channel, so you can check that out so you can know what these signals are all about. And we won't spend a lot of time going over it each day. But we can certainly say that there's some, you can see that our signals are, we're very proud of them. We think they're really good, very surgical in some cases. And then, it really depends on volume of the symbol or the asset that day. So if you get good volume, generally you get good signals. So each day I want to take a look at four things. Generally, we'll look at the S&P 500 and Bitcoin just because they're sort of the leaders in the clubhouse. Certainly, we could look at the NASDAQ or the Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100, the Dow Jones. We can look at those things too. But just to sort of get us a snapshot, I want to check out the S&P every day. So the next thing we're going to look at here is Apple, and we're on the daily chart here. And you can see going all the way back to the collapse back in March and April here. There were a couple of really, really incredible entries right here, both bull and bear. And we see it trying to get back, into an uptrend, which we got back in June. We got the Genesis cross from it. We got a little bull trap here. But again, we know when we get the Oblivion cross and then the Genesis cross, which direction we're going. And as you can see, just like normal, this is another thing we're just so proud of, and this is true for most symbols, especially the big boys. So if you think about NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, so on and so forth, and some of the really big companies by market cap, you get these trends are really good supports. And you can see clearly we have many shorting opportunities, longing opportunities, shorting opportunities, so on and so forth. Currently, based on this last long opportunity down here on the Mystic indicator, we go long right here, and we have this leg up. And if you're familiar with technical analysis, you know that this leg up and this sort of flag or pennant that it starts to make here is often called a bull flag. So it's just consolidation, push up, consolidation. A lot of times you have another push up after that. Now, one thing that we can certainly look at here or say is, it's running into some resistance right up in this area. So we may see it consolidate here and break up. Or maybe we get the pullback we're looking for with our shorting signal here, which wouldn't be unusual, that it sort of like bounces and then shorts right back down into the wave. So we plan on taking this trade and potentially longing the wave again. And again, looking out for the oblivion cross when it happens. It looks like we're getting close down here on the Mystic to a rollover, but with some of these really big guys, well, this can happen with smaller cap stocks too, but you can get up here and hang up here for a little while. So it's always important to manage your stop losses, especially when you're trying to short anything in the market. With I'll try to say this every night, but with whenever you're sort of buying the dip, you're buying things that are falling in price, you can also always DCA into that, and there's far less risk there than there is trying to short something that's not going in your favor. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the granddaddy of crypto here, Bitcoin, and just see what it's doing on the daily. We checked in on this yesterday. We can see that we've most recently got our short signal here. I've got the echoes of time on our support, our support lines here, and you can see it bounced right into it, sort of putting in a little double bottom here, sort of waiting for the next move. It looks like it's, let's see, there's some sort of, again, if you know patterns, there's some sort of pseudo head and shoulders pattern here that would look something, depending on where and how you draw your trend lines, would look something, well, I guess we go like if we use wicks, somewhere right in there, so you get this bounce. So that's another thing. We don't have that on the flow of time here. We can see we got a Genesis, we got the long, we got the short, and the oblivion. It bounced here. A couple of supports here, which, so that's to be expected. I'm really curious to see. We just closed this candle for the day, so I'm really curious to see if this candle closes above our blue line or our epoch line here. If it does, that's a good look for Bitcoin to maybe try to push up a bit. But again, just to stay sort of dialed in and focused here, the Foresight Suite is all about simplicity. You can notice there are 4 indicators on the chart. I'm normally keeping off the echoes of time to clean it up. I'll take a look at the flow to see where it's at, but I also like to just turn it off so I can see directly where all of our trades mostly are. So all the shorts, all the longs. We see here that we got this great long signal right on the heels of this print here. And we go up. We got these signals that correspond down here, little confluence there, marches sideways, dumps out. Again, we get another print here. Another long signal here on the Mystic. There's, a great trade there. We see right here, whenever it starts to fall, this is actually, at this point, when you print this doji candle right here, that's essentially saying there's indecision, so you want to watch the next candle close. Once you got this close here, we sort of know it's going down. So although we don't have any signals pushing down, there's still indications that it's going down. And so you see us sort of falling there, printing bullish signals here, running into a trend line. Again, I think our echoes of time is in there. Yeah, so we're getting that bounce there. And the long signal here, pushing it up, so on and so forth. It's not always this clean, clearly. We like to be super transparent about that. You really have to look symbol to symbol. So normally if I would have gotten an alert that fired here, the very first thing I look at is how those alerts have been, or how the labels and signals have been performing on this symbol, so on Bitcoin. So if we were on Link or Solana or XRP or Doge or anything like that, or any stocks, Walmart, Tesla, whatever, you want to make sure that it's been performing well recently. Because those things sort of go in cycles, and that's the first thing you want to check. If it does, the signals are real strong. We're real proud of the way that they work. Lastly, let's take a look at Link today. Pulled this up earlier, so we'll just sort of go. This on a day. All of these. Well, this is on the 8-hour. Yeah, I wanted to make a point here. There are a couple of time frames that I really like personally, and one of those. I will trade the 1 and the 2 hour. Those are fine. Those work better for trades more often. But I really like the 3 hour. There's something about those Fibonacci numbers that are real nice. And I like the 8 hour as well. I don't know what it is specifically about the 8 hour other than the signals, and this is just anecdotal, but the signals appear to be performing really well around that range. No time frames are off the table. You can use the indicators on any time frame, but again, you just want to check the asset, the symbol, to make sure it's been performing well lately. So just a quick walk through here. We can see confluence here in both indicators. We go down. We sort of take this take this ride up, and let's see if we got no. There's no. You can see here, we purposefully don't have any signals that may be lesser quality. We try to filter those out as best as possible. Not always possible, but we try to filter those out. So we get this rollover. You get a good, these are good trades to us. That's 6-7% right there, and we're normally taking 2. This little cluster right here, I was going to say you DCA this, but I don't even know that you necessarily DCA it. If you would have entered here, you would have had to ride that down about, 7%. We would have DCA'd on Link. I think we DCA at maybe like 3%, 6%, 9%, and 12% or something like that. And so we would have gotten a couple of DCA levels in here, which just means a bigger trade, to be honest. And then gotten the full reward by doing so here. And again, we take this short here. We made our money there. We just wait for it to pull down here. And currently, we're just sort of marching sideways after this last signal here. We may or may not have taken this. Probably would have, but we would have again DCA'd. Now you've got another great signal down here. This is sort of our double omen signal. So again, this is again turned into another winning trade for us, because we would have DCA'd maybe twice right there. And it very well could have, we would have already gotten out in profit right there. So that's it for today. The S&P 500, Apple, Bitcoin, and Link. What I'm hoping is on some days we actually catch something that's printing like a good trade opportunity here. I mean, I can really see this Apple chart potentially giving us that, and I'm probably gonna I don't know, I'm still thinking about this. I'm probably gonna go ahead and take this. The bots already take it, but if you trade on different accounts, or maybe a leverage account, some bigger accounts, and you're doing some manual stuff too, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to wait for this, but the bots are already taking almost all these trades because they're being DCA'd. All right, that's it for today. I appreciate you watching. And again, if you're interested and want to take a look at the tutorial video, do that. And check us out on ForesightScrolls.com if you're looking to get an opportunity to get the suite for yourself and access to the Discord. The Discord is free except for the private signals that are, of course, a part of the Foresight Suite, and then you get the private signals along with the suite. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.